Hello, my friends. Hey, happy day before Thanksgiving. So I am out here on my way to Wonderland Lake and just wanted to give you a feel of the expanse. It's so gorgeous out here. And I thought, what better place than in nature to ask the question, is it better to give than to receive? I mean, there's something really powerful about giving, isn't it? You tap into the need of another. You pour yourself out. You experience your mind and your heart and your body being caught up in a kenosis. And that is incredibly powerful. That is what I think changes our world, that movement. However, have you ever given beyond your boundaries? Have you ever found that if you wanted to say no, you felt guilty? Have you ever struggled with actually receiving? I find that for myself and for many people that are part of my world, that there are a lot of challenges around this notion. It's better to give than to receive. It sets up a difficulty, a moral dilemma oftentimes, and it gives this universal idea that it's not okay to think about our own needs, or that there's something selfish when we put ourselves first. I'd like to say that for my part, my answer to that is that giving and receiving are part of the same dance. That to give is to receive, and to receive is to give. And to be changing the question around what the giving and the receiving is to what is the most generous way to love and be loved in this moment. And the answer is going to be different each time, isn't it? I mean, take a look out in nature. There is something about the kenosis when we're outside that feels like nature is just giving us everything. And how easily we can open our hearts. How often when I ask people what inspires them, they speak of a time in nature. No, it's nature is so much simpler than we human beings are when it comes to giving and receiving love. But there is a receiving that goes on in our own hearts when we're in nature. It's given everything generously, so we're receiving. But then we give as well, because our hearts open in this expression. Get a thumbs up there. Our hearts give an expression of love that is a gift to our world, whether it's seen or unseen. So I'd like to ask you, what are your thoughts on it's better to give than to receive? No, honestly, I think one of the reasons the phrase can be helpful, one way we can put it into context, is if we understand that this notion of giving is letting ourselves get out of the way, letting ourselves step away from the worry of our needs being met, and just get caught up in the dance of love. But otherwise, I'd like to invite you to reassess your relationship to giving and receiving, and give yourself a little bit of a self-inquiry. Do you lean more in one direction or another around the giving and the receiving? Meaning, do you find it hard to receive? And do you find it easy to give? And like some of the dilemmas I posed in the beginning, do you have a difficult time setting boundaries? I know sometimes I've actually felt guilty if I've set a limit on what I'm capable of giving, as though I'm not being loving enough. So, on this day before Thanksgiving, which is all about giving and receiving thanks, how about we open up our hearts in gratitude for all the ways that we have received, and for all of the ways that we have given, for the hidden ways, think of a time now when you have given your love, your devotion, when you've stood in a truth and you've given yourself to that, and no one else has seen, but you've had the inner knowing that it was the right thing to do. I celebrate you in this moment for that gift of self. I celebrate you for the times that you have allowed yourself to receive when it felt vulnerable or scary. I celebrate you being on this Facebook Live right now and being willing to listen to some of my wrestling with the question and some of my adventurous exploration into it. And I invite you to take a step today to redefine in an even deeper way what it means to give and receive. Let's embody that phrase. Let it take us to a new level of liberation so that the dance can be freeform, and so much so that it takes you into greater intimacy with yourself, with others, with the world, with the transcendent. I give my love to you, and I receive all of your love, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Blessings. Bye. Mwah.